She struck me hard across the face. A clean, open-handed blow. Intentional. The kind that silences a room. It was during her birthday dinner. Her guests, her family, and me, standing there, my cheek burning red, exposed under the soft glow of the chandelier. I didn't say a thing. I simply rose from my chair, adjusted my jacket, and walked out. No luggage, no argument, no farewell, just gone. 5 years ago. I thought I understood the woman I married. Elaine, brilliant, bold, a magnetic presence who drew every gaze when she entered a room. I loved her like a drowning man clings to a life raft in a violent storm. She once told me I was her peace amidst the chaos. And I believed her. We built everything side by side. Long nights spent sketching out the launch of her boutique. I poured every cent of my inheritance into making it happen. No prenup. I didn't think love required one. That was my mistake. The slap? It wasn't spontaneous. It was staged, carefully orchestrated, like she wanted a crowd to witness it. I later realized that was her curtain call, a dramatic finale designed to end things on her terms. What followed was worse. Accusations I never got to answer. She spun tales, said I cheated, drained her accounts, abused her. Lies. Every word. That night, I slept in a rented car. By morning, I transferred what little I had left into an offshore account tied to a shell corporation I had discreetly set up a year earlier. I changed my name, vanished, cut every tie. I didn't break. I hardened. The truth began to surface, slowly, painfully, over the next 3 months. A friend we both knew, Mike, the only one who ever questioned her version of events, sent me photos. Elaine, wrapped in the arms of her so-called silent investor. Her attorney, her lover. 2 months before the slap, she had moved every cent from our shared accounts into one solely under her control. That slap was revenge. It was closure for her. Mine would come later. The first year was brutal. But pain, when managed carefully, becomes discipline. I took work under false names, waiting tables, mopping floors. I listened. I learned. I taught myself corporate law, forensic accounting. I drifted from city to city, building connections in the shadows. 2 years in, I acquired a struggling cybersecurity firm under a fake identity. Scaled it, sold it, then reinvested. I bought into startups, collected their debts, turned failing companies into profitable ventures. By year 4, I was a silent financier behind a real estate empire that stretched from coast to coast. Then came year 5 and the invitation. Private Wealth Society. Elite members retreat. Fairfield Estate. Back in my hometown. I laughed. Of course she'd be there. That world was her oxygen. Old money. New money. Polished lies hiding hungry eyes. I RSVP'd yes. The moment my flight landed, my phone lit up. Ella Beaumont, once a rising fashion mogul and darling of the social scene, declared bankrupt, facing fraud charges. Her boutiques shuttered, all assets frozen. Authorities had traced a string of questionable corporations back to offshore accounts. My driver glanced at me through the rear-view mirror. Rough week for Mrs. Beaumont, huh? I let a smile spread across my face. Couldn't have happened to a more deserving soul. She didn't recognize me immediately. The beard, the tailored Italian suit, the new identity. They masked the man she once humiliated, but my eyes gave me away. Her face drained of color. We were seated across from each other at the estate's long banquet table. Almost poetic, the same setup as 5 years ago. Only now, I wasn't her accessory. I was the guest of honor. Luca Brandt, our host, raised a toast. To Luca Brandt, serial investor, tech whisperer, the man who bought half of Taze Group over a single weekend. Taze Group, the shell corporation that had quietly absorbed the parent company of her boutique 2 years earlier. She lost everything and never noticed a knife sliding in. After dinner, she approached me, cornered, brittle, pale like she'd seen a ghost. "It's you," she whispered. "You did this." I leaned in, calm. Still, "You ruined me," she said, voice shaking. "No," I replied softly. "You did that all on your own. I just handed you the rope." Her body trembled, but I wasn't finished. I placed a slim folder in her hands. Inside, court records, audit trails, tax fraud documentation. Every bit of it legally sourced, meticulously compiled. All signed by her. Every deal, every fake transaction, every loan. You authorized them all. I just made sure someone was watching when you did. Her voice cracked. Why? We could have worked through this. I stepped closer. You shattered me in front of everyone who mattered. You took my name, my savings, and what little pride I had left. I looked her dead in the eye. This is balance. 2 days later, the headlines exploded. Media outlets ran the full story. Every ugly detail. Her designer circle turned its back. Sponsors vanished overnight. In her world, a world built on perception, disgrace was a death sentence. That night, I walked through the streets of my old hometown, hands deep in my coat pockets, the wind sharp against my skin. No applause, no grand celebration. Just silence, just peace. Some wounds never truly heal. Sometimes, even now, I catch a glimpse of her handprint when I close my eyes, but it no longer stings. It reminds me of who I became. The man who waits, the man who prepares, the man no one sees coming until it's too late. Revenge isn't fireworks. It's the hush of a deal signed behind closed doors, a contract inked in silence. It's the return of the man they thought was erased, piece by piece, buying back his vengeance.